Followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father God, we thank you for your kindness in bringing us all together today. Though we may not know what this meeting holds, we know that you do. As we begin, Lord, help us to keep your word in mind. Lead us in the conversations that are fruitful and enrich the lives of those who are here today. When we are undecided, please lead us in your wisdom. When our opinions may disagree, help us to remain respectful to one another. More than anything, Lord, would you help us both to seek your will and to pursue your glory through all that we say and do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Call the meeting to order for agenda business. First item on the agenda is public comment. Mr. Sheriff.
None, sir.
No public comment. All right, minutes from our last meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the February 2nd, 2023 meeting as submitted.
Motion on the floor is to approve the minutes from our February 2nd meeting as submitted. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Reports. Aaron?
I kind of have a little longer report to give you. It is grant time, so I have a lot more statistics, so I'll try to go through them quickly. In our current report, we do have 95 individuals currently on the program. I've had 18 full participants, 45 on bond, 11 services only, 10 from parole, 2 check-ins and drug screens, 9 from probation. I've had 58 individuals complete my program. We've had 35 terminate from the program. We've had 9 re-enter from the program. I've had 12 individuals attend rehab. We've done 683 community service hours. We've done 9,520 employment hours. I've had 4 out of 6 individuals complete my domestic violence program. We have done 1,470 drug screens as of today, where 218 were positive, which gives us 1,252 negatives. And those are only the community corrections drug screens. With the community service hours, we've saved the county $5,976.25. We've collected $21,062 in participation fees. We saved the county with the regional jail bill $887,607. So with the community service savings and the regional jail bill, we saved the county $893,583.25 this fiscal year. With our current 95 individuals, we have 18 full corrections, 45 on bond, 15 services, 16 from probation, and 1 from parole. Of our 18 full corrections, mind you, I will tell you that we've gotten 4 new full corrections just in like the last few days. So we have 10 employed, 4 unemployed, 2 on the run, and 2 on disability, which gives us our 18. Of our finances, minus the grant, we have spent $38,182.41. The $21,237, that also includes that one thing that we got for the destruction of property that they finally paid the restitution to us. RN Enterprises, we brought in $676. Federal probation, we've spent $9,050. We've brought in $21,290. Drug court, we have spent $25,805.03. We've brought in $16,741, but they haven't paid us from October forward. We've been having issues with billing, just getting it correct. They've changed things. So hopefully the rest of those will be coming in soon. DHR, we spent $73,973.30, but we brought in $207,300. Juvenile scram, we have spent $355.60. I did have a meeting 2 weeks ago with the Supreme Court, and that we are working on an MOU to get that paid back, as well as the $700 from last fiscal year. Parole, we spent $80. We brought in $1,154.20. So total expense minus the grant, we have spent $147,446.34. We've brought in $268,398.20. So we've placed $120,951.86 in the bank.
Now, on your DHHR prior, weren't they behind on billing?
Yes, we are still, they owe us from, I believe November forward.
Okay.
So the only month I haven't done is obviously last month. I haven't got to it because I've been working on the grant. But we've probably got about 3-4 months that they still owe us. So we are still a little behind on that. So the next one, I kind of lowered it. These are the current statistics of our positive drug screens. So if you look, the first one is for community corrections. We have seen an increase in alcohol. If you look from last year, fiscal year to this year, last year our methamphetamine was at 44%. This year, so far this fiscal year, we're at 36%. So it has gone down. Marijuana has gone down. Last fiscal year was at 23%, we're at 15%. Alcohol last fiscal year, and that's the whole fiscal year, alcohol was 4%. Right now, we're at 23%. So alcohol has started to become an issue. The rest of them, some have gone down, some have gone up, but they've pretty much stayed all less than 10%. So still biggest issue we see, minus the alcohol now, is methamphetamine. As you can see with the DHR drug screens, it is similar. Last year, methamphetamine was at 28%. Methamphetamine so far this fiscal year is 20%. Marijuana has gone down too. Last year it was 36%, so far this fiscal year at 31%, but alcohol has gone up. Alcohol last fiscal year was 23%, and now we're at 31%. The rest of them again remain under 10%. So those are just some of the statistics. The next few pages are the actual screens that we've done. So if you look so far, now this last chart is as of January. I know on the report I gave you was as of today, so that's why the number's different. So you can see for community corrections, we're roughing about close to 175 to 200 every month for drug screens. So, but that shows you how many we've also sent to the lab, how many blood tests we've done, then the actual positives, which includes prescriptions, and then the actual, the total actual positives. So, so we've been staying pretty busy. And then the last one, well, I'll go over those because this is for DHHR. So far, this fiscal year for DHHR, we're going about, August was a pretty good month, but we're about 200 screens a month now. DHHR numbers have gone down, but we've currently done 1,644 drug screens for DHHR from July to January. We've sent 74 to the lab. We've done 209 blood tests. The total positives were 359, but that also, like I said, includes prescriptions, so the actual positives were 185. So, staying pretty busy. That's all I have.
Thank you. Randy, got anything from the Congressman's office?
Well, sir, you've met Mike, our new addition, who will be in the western part of the district. Also, I've already spoken with community corrections. They're gonna be getting a request for a letter of support coming as well. And also, I was gonna speak with the sheriff. We've received a letter of request from a HIDA from another sheriff. I want you to be on that as well. So, but otherwise, we're always ready to help any way we can. There's support on grants and whatnot. Thank you for asking, sir.
Sheriff?
We just, we've been being a dog warden since, you guys are in the process of replacing Charlie, and, we've been really active with that. Guys, we had actually three humane calls one day that we've been working on, so just that, we've, kinda jumped on, and all the guys are responding if we get a call, around the clock on these things, so, basically that's it, and we're trying to assist as much as possible until you guys get a replacement and get them up and running, so.
That's about it.
I appreciate you working with us on that.
Not a problem, sir.
Brenda? Correspondence, let's see. We just got one letter from a resident in support, former resident of Elkins, about the TIF program. Announcements, next meeting will be March the 2nd here at 1:30. The courthouse will be closed Monday in observance of President's Day. And the department heads' budget proposals will be due to the commission office by March the 2nd. And we'll be scheduling, meetings with the department heads, elected officials, prior to March the 7th. Okay, items for discussion and action. The first one is informational presentation and funding request from Whitmer Volunteer Fire Department. How are you?
Good, how are you? Thank you. Thank you. Along with my letter, you'll see our contract for our sprinkler system that we've been in contact with you about. Again, I'd like to thank the commissioners for the work you continue to provide for the citizens and fire departments of Randolph County. My name is Captain Jonathan Turner. I represent the Whitmer Volunteer Fire Department located here in Randolph County. My reason for coming in today is we're currently in the process of building a new fire station in Whitmer. So far, the process is going very smoothly. The outer shell of the building has been assembled. One issue arose, which we were not aware of during the beginning of the building process. The new code, which was passed requiring any emergency service building that houses fire apparatus, is required to have an automatic fire suppression system along with an automatic fire alarm system. As you're aware, this is an expensive addition to the project. The automatic fire suppression system will cost $44,500, along with the automatic fire alarm system costing $14,350, for a total of $58,850. I, Captain Jonathan Turner, coming to you in hopes you can fund this unexpected expense of $58,850. Not only do we need this to pass state code, but it will also make it safer for the citizens of Whitmer and Job that will utilize this new updated building as a warming shelter during natural disaster incidents. If the Whitmer Volunteer Fire Department solely takes on this expense, it will delay the completion of the building until more funds are raised. Thank you for your time and hope you see the need and will fund it.
How far along are you on to where how far till this is needed?
Anytime, basically.
Uh-huh.
The outer shell is done. They're working on the electrical now. All the framing for like the kitchen, lounge, training room, all that's done. So we're kind of just at a standstill until the fire sprinkler system is taken care of. Because we can't do any completion of drywall or anything like that until it's done.
Do you know of any grants, Peg?
No, I've done research on them. In fact, I didn't know about this until about a week ago, and I've done quite a bit of research. And the research I found right now is there are none available at this moment. In fact, it's hard to find any type of construction grants for fire departments at all. There was a bill introduced to the U.S. legislature in 621 for fire construction grants, but it was shot down last August for some reason, I don't know why. But I've also found that a lot of states, and this is where he might be able to help, a lot of states have grant programs for fire departments for constructions and stuff, for constructions and things of fire departments, but he would have to help us with that. It's something that would have to be introduced and, introduced as a bill to pass.
Have you looked for any grant funding or?
I have some, but like she said, it's hard to find.
The grant funding mainly is, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's mainly for equipment, trucks, things like that. So my suggestion is that when you're looking at your needs for the year, you look and see what you're going to need. And if you see you need construction stuff, you would put the money for your construction and not put money in things you can put grants for. You know what I mean? And I had even offered to set up a class or something for the fire departments if you wanted me to tell them what they can and can't, what grants are available to them, and what they can and can't get with the grant. See, if they had known in advance they couldn't get money for construction, they would have known, hey, I won't spend money on this because I can get a grant for it.
Which we have, like
Right.
you're saying, I know last year, we got approximately $40,000 in grants for different equipment
Right,
that we have, but it's going to go into the completion of that versus,
right.
When's the next fire board meeting?
it would be April 12th, I believe is when it is.
I can see if we can get, Peggy can come.
And it's
speak.
actually at Whitmer, so.
Oh, there you go.
You guys don't have much chance for fundraising there in Whitmer, do you?
No, not really. We're actually in the process of setting up where like Elkins and Beverly does for the online fundraising. It seems to go very well for them.
So if you guys did a bucket brigade in a day, you get about 3 cars?
Maybe a few more, but definitely not enough to cover that.
Alright.
Have you met Commissioner Seiler?
Spent a lot of time in Whitmer, haven't we?
Yep.
So maybe we can get Peggy on, see if we can get the fire board and see if she have time that on April the 12th or something to go out there and speak to them. That's where they meet quarterly, isn't it?
Yes.
With all the fire departments.
April's a busy month for me, but I will try. I'll be out of town like the.
If not the next quarter, that way you can talk to them about the grants, and that way maybe we can help them out with that.
Okay, so I'll be out of town like 2 or 3 weeks in April, but I won't be out that particular day.
All right. We'll look into it for you.
So,
All right, now,
so maybe July,
the next quarter one, yeah.
okay.
All right. We're gonna take this back. Commissioner C is not here, so we need to get all 3 commissioners on board.
Yep.
With this, and we'll have an answer back for you at the next meeting.
All right, that'll work.
Be, March the 2nd, if that's okay.
All right, that'll work. I definitely appreciate it.
All right, thank you. We'll try to do anything we can.
All right, thank you.
Also, thank you, bud.
All
I
right,
did look into a few private foundation grants, and most of them were like for particular items like CPR equipment, things like that.
we wanted to try to see if we could help you out with a grant first. But like I said, we'll get, with, all 3 of us and make a decision.
Oh, yeah, which I completely understand, because that's a lot of money, so I completely understand. looking
But-
for a grant.
It's a great project, and like you said, you guys need, that top of the line building to take care of that area of the county, so we'll try to help out any way we can.
All right, appreciate it.
I'll be looking through some foundation grants.
Okay, thank you.
All right, informational presentation from County Roads Transit. I didn't see you sitting in the back.
I'm hiding.
She was.
How are ya?
How are you?
I'm good. So, I'm here to talk to you about your continued investment in Country Roads Transit, the only public transportation system in Randolph County, and your citizens who utilize that service. So in fiscal year 2022, and so far in 23, we're experiencing an increase in ridership. In fact, we're on trend to probably exceed pre-COVID levels this year. We provided 14,560 rides in Randolph County alone in fiscal year 22. Those were rides to work, to mental health appointments, to medical appointments, to the grocery store and the pharmacy. They were trips for social and recreational activities and more. I'm sure that everyone in here can understand the importance of those kinds of trips. But while most of the folks in this room have their own transportation to get there, not all of our county residents are that fortunate. They don't have a way to secure their groceries or to get to their doctor's appointments. So to those citizens, public transit is a lifeline, and your investment secures that lifeline for those citizens. I'll remind you that public transit's provided on a 50-50 match program basis, so we take FTA dollars, but we have to raise half of that money in the communities in order to access those dollars. That means a couple of things. That means that we get that matching dollar. It also means you get $2 of service for every dollar that you invest in that program. I know you're all really busy. I come here every year and invite you to ride transit. Nobody ever does that, but I would love for you to do that. Come and ride an hour or 2. Come and ride all day. I'll pay your fare.
Nobody wants to ride in my car either.
Yeah. Yours has a slightly different connotation though. So I thought I would tell you that maybe you could tell you a couple stories. Maybe you could ride, David knows this person, maybe you could ride with Beverly. Beverly's a 74-year-old resident from South Elkins. She no longer drives because of medical reasons. We take her to get groceries, we take her to her medical appointments, and we take her to the ever-important trips to the hairdresser. She also rides country roads 2 or 3 or 4 days a week and comes to the senior center. She gets a nutritious, delicious meal, and she helps organize our book sale that raises money for Alzheimer's research. She's also kind of a card, like David knows, so you'll have a lot of fun if you ride with her. She had become sort of a hermit in her own apartment during COVID, and so Country Roads, the outlet that they provide her, has been truly life-altering. She rides most of the time with a little lady who's 80 years old, is a tiny Spitfire of a lady named Mary, who rides 5 days a week and comes to volunteer to help fix lunch for her fellow seniors at the senior center. She's like the Energizer Bunny. She laughs more than any human being I've ever met in my life, and you would love to ride transit with Mary. She'll tell you all about it. You might be able to ride with Bruce. So he's another regular rider. We take him to the grocery store and doctor's appointments like most of our riders, but he also rides to the housing authority to secure his rental assistance and to the DHHR to access his food stamps. He also knows a whole bunch about music, and so he'll talk to you all day, and if you're lucky, you'll have his guitar with him, you might even get it out. It's just a few examples of the people who utilize transit. I would love to bring them with me. None of them want to come and talk in front of a bunch of people.
Not even Beverly?
Yeah, we don't have all day, right?
That's just true.
For those of you who don't take that as insulting, Beverly happens to be my aunt, and she's a card. Anyway, come and ride with them. I would love for you to do that. Again, I'll pay your fare if you'll do that, but wherever we're taking folks, whether it's to work or to dialysis or wherever we're taking them, that ride is important. And I'm so grateful that you've been our partners since 2016 in the beginning, and I hope you'll consider continuing that support this next year.
What's your budget now?
We're looking at about $670,000.
Is that Randolph County share?
We don't do the budget separate, so
Okay.
$670,000 total Randolph and Upshur County.
Okay.
We do this in our budget when we come up,
Yeah.
start in March, so I am positive that you'll be part of our budget again.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We'll keep you in there.
We appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
All right, next is informational presentation from Interact Children's Museum.
It's actually supposed to say, just to prepare you, informational presentation and funding request, of course. I'm Lisa Martin, you guys might know me, and I'm going to hope that this.
I think the laptop went to sleep.
So this is just a couple of slides that kind of tell you who we are. We are not really new on the scene. We've actually been had our nonprofit status since 2019. We currently operate as a mobile museum in Elkins, and we are completely volunteer-led organization at this point. I'm not going to read to you. You can read our vision, our mission, and our values. The only thing I would point out about this is that we are a children's museum, but we also very much consider ourselves community leaders. We're not just about providing activities for kids. We're about giving the community something to do and just creating a better atmosphere in the community. Obviously, education comes to mind when you think of a children's museum because you're talking about children, and it's a hands-on education. My background is education. I was a teacher for 38 years, 36 of those at Colton. So go into community. I'm very much the rural schools, rural children who don't have an opportunity to go to Charleston or Pittsburgh or Harrisonburg to a children's museum. You know, if you meet some of the kids in Elkins, they're gonna have said that. A lot of the kids out of Elkins are not gonna have gone anyplace else. We feel like we can definitely be a factor in the economy of Randolph County. we aren't going to be we aren't a huge children's museum, but when we have our permanent location, I think we will be a draw to the area, especially from the local, surrounding counties. And we absolutely are committed that our museum is an affordable option for the children and the families of Randolph County. These are just a little bit of our history. Like everything, we snoozed a bit during COVID. So it took us, it has taken us a little bit to get back up to and going. But by the end of this year, every child in Randolph County schools, except for Harmon and Pickens, who we're kind of still negotiating with, will have gone through our program. So we will have been in every school. We were actually able to partner with Randolph County Schools, and they have funded our visits. We just were at Third Ward Elementary on Valentine's Day, and it was a great day, great activity. We never ever leave the schools without, or an activity without some child saying, "Best day ever." So we've kidded that could be the back of our t-shirts. We are in search of Interact's first permanent home, and that's one of the reasons that we wanted to present to you all, and actually anybody in the room. We are constantly looking for an appropriate building. We would obviously like to be located within Elkins, and the closer to downtown, the better. So if you know of an appropriate building, please reach out. We have so far been doing in-person mobile museum events. We have a very large, we have a large storage facility at U-Haul that we pay for monthly, and we pack in and pack out of there every time we have an event. So it takes one van and one truck so far, and as we keep adding to things, it's going to take more. As I mentioned, we've been partnering with Randolph County Schools for this year and part of last year, and we have started creating a volunteer workforce, because what we found is that our board of directors, we as a body, we cannot keep up with the demand for events, and so we have trained our first group of volunteers, and we will train another group in March, and that's really exciting for us because hopefully it's going to free up the board of directors to do some more large fundraising, which is what's going to be needed to have a permanent home and a staff. These are just a few of our mobile exhibits. All of our exhibits have been funded by grants or donations up to this point. This is a really fun thing called the Rig-a-ma-jig that the kids love. And this is another great one called the Wind Tunnel. Actually, we're going to be at the Our Town Spring event this year if you would like to see the Wind Tunnel in action. We partner with Our Town quite often too. We did some things at their concerts last summer, and we've been at the Scarecrow Festival, and we will have been at both their spring events. And just how you can help, you can like us on Facebook, check out our website. We'll always take your money, just individuals, we'll always take money. And if you give us a lot of money, we'll even name a building after you. So, if you would like to, we can be the Anything Interact Children's Museum. We've set it up that way. And if you're interested in volunteering, we would love to have you as well. You can always, we're pretty easy to find online, Interact Children's Museum or Interact Museum. And so that's kind of how you can help. Specifically, I'm here today, and it gave us an opportunity, or gave me an opportunity to acquaint you with who we are, if you don't already know. But I am specifically here because we've reached a lot of children. I would say at this point, well over 1,300 children have gone through our program or through our exhibits and been part of an event. But we aren't reaching families. We're reaching we're reaching children because we've been working through the school system. We feel like to do families, we are going to have some events. We think outside events are a good way to do that. So we wrote a Snowshoe Foundation grant to fund a minimum of 3 free public events this summer. One will be held at Colton. We're working with the Colton Days group. One will be at the Homestead Community Center. We're working with them. And then one will be held here in Elkins, and we haven't scheduled that one yet. We may be able to do a few more than that, but those are gonna be a minimum. Unfortunately, our snowshoe grant was only funded at 50%. That money we did earmark to hire our first part-time person to help us plan those events, publicize those events, coordinate the volunteer manpower that'll be needed for those, because that'll be a lot of manpower for those. What that left was a gap for the new exhibits that we would like to purchase. All of our exhibits so far have been indoor exhibits. Occasionally we will take something outside, but they're not made for outside. We would actually like to purchase outdoor exhibits, because that's what our activities this summer are going to be, if it doesn't rain, but we do have backup plans for that. But even that, then the outdoor exhibits could be used, everything we're proposing could be indoors. I have actually already written another grant to a foundation, a private foundation that has funded us somewhat before, but we are short about $2,500. Specifically, we have we're looking for funding for an exhibit called Tactile Play, which just involves a lot of hands-on things like sand and things that kids get their hands dirty in. Movement creation, which is a lot of like sort of obstacle course sort of things, and artistic expression, which is a lot of really messy painting and things like that. These are things we haven't been able to do inside because schools don't really like you to bring in sand and water and paint and things like that. So we're really excited to be able to do these things with the kids. But our budget has fallen short. We still have other things that we're using we're using the snowshoe grant, and then we're actually also selling sponsorships because we have some other expenses as well. So what I'm actually asking you for is $2,500 to fund those 3 exhibits. And they wouldn't just be used for this summer. We'd be able to incorporate them into other events that we have in the future. I mean, I'm sure that we're going to be involved in the Forest Festival at some point, perhaps even Ramps and Rails. Those are all outside activities. And when we have our permanent home, it's important to us that we be able to have some outside space as well. So that is pretty much it. Do you have any questions?
So you said that you're looking at 3 locations. You said Colton and Homestead and Elkins.
Mm-hmm.
Have you gone anywhere else for funding? Are we the first ask for the $2,500?
For the $2,500, as I said, we've got money from the Snowshoe Foundation. We got $5,000 from them, and that's going to pay the part-time position. And then I have written another grant it's called the Oakland Foundation for the remainder.
Have we reached out to the city of Elkins for any funding?
We haven't. No, they did agree to partner with us on this activity just to be, to be supportive, that they're in support of it back when we first wrote the grant, so.
Okay. Well, I think we'll help out with it. I think we'll help out 2/3.
Okay.
Help with funding with the Colton project and the Homestead project, and then I encourage you to reach out to the city of Elkins for the remaining 1/3.
Okay.
So I'd like to have a motion to approve funding request in the amount of $1,667.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the funding request from the Interact Children's Museum in the amount of $1,667 to be taken from Hotel Motel Fund.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve funding request from the Interact Children's Museum in the amount of $1,667 to be taken from Hotel Motel Fund. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the informational presentation of Fanning Press from Tigers Valley High School graduation walking.
Hello, how are you all doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. My name is Jacob Kurtz, and I'm here on behalf of the Taggart Valley Lions Club with some future graduates of Taggart Valley High School to request some funding for the walk-in. We'd like to start out by thanking you all so much for your support in years past for the walk-ins. I think the last I was told it was 1985 was the first time they started the walk-in process, so we're almost to 40 years now of creating this program. And what the main important goal of this program is, after graduation, We have a bunch of people who are future adults going out into this world. They're going to become citizens, and we just want a safe place for them to be that night. You know, you're excited, you're energetic, and you just need a safe place to land. And so we keep them for the whole night, and we have all kinds of activities. They've been fundraising. They've been working extremely hard on gaining all of this, the funding to do this event, but we're just kind of reaching out to see what you might be able to contribute to that to help with this event. It's an all-night event. We'd love it if you all swung by. It's a lot of fun. We'll have some pizzas, some snacks and stuff. We won't have a bouncy house this year, I don't think, which is good because one of our older gentlemen jumped on the bouncy house and hurt his hamstring. So they voted to have some other activities out there, but we typically do it at the Y. It's a great program. We make sure that when they're there the whole time. So it's a if you leave policy, you have to go home. We're not gonna let you back in and out type of deal. But I went through that program about 10 years ago this year now. It was a great thing to do. It's a great team building exercise. Classmates who maybe don't always get in class together get to work together and fundraising and getting together and see the impact of community outreach. So we'd just like to make a request for anything you could possibly give to us.
Okay.
On this, we've funded this for several years now, and we're glad to help with the funding again this year.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the funding request from Tigers Valley Lions Club in the amount of $2,000 to be taken from the courthouse contractual to fund the Tigers Valley High School after graduation lock-in.
So motion on the floor is to approve the funding request from Tigers Valley Lions Club in the amount of $2,000 to be taken from courthouse contractual for the after graduation lock-in. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
There you go. Have a
Thank
good,
you so
safe
much.
time.
Congratulations on graduating.
Yeah.
All right, next item is an informational presentation and funding request from Colton Fire Department. Peggy, you want to speak about Colton?
Oh, no, I didn't know that they had a funding request, but I can say that I believe they are one of the last fire departments to get a firehouse construction grant. The new fire department they built, they got a grant for that and built that. And I don't think there's been any construction grants available since.
So
I
they're
don't know if
lucky,
they
huh?
took all the money or what.
All right, so I'll read the letter. We got a letter from Justin George. The Colton Fire Department and its members are requesting assistance in purchasing 4 MSAG1 SCBA equipment to equip our fire engine. We are currently lacking the number needed to meet the standards the state requires. We received quotes from Johnson's Fire Department. The amount per pack is $7,450 each. This price is currently being updated, so we're hoping to get this before the prices go up like everything. Johnson's Fire is sole provider for this equipment in the area, and they are unable to get any other quotes from a dealer. So we're asking any assistance to help make this purchase. And what are these specifically? Do you know?
They're the breathing apparatuses.
All right, so they need to purchase 4 breathing apparatuses for their fire engines, an amount of $7,450 each. And I think we help them out and purchase 2 of the 4.
Yeah, 2 of the 4.
All right, so to have a motion to approve purchase of 2 of the 4.
I'll make a motion to approve the funding request from the Colton Fire Department in the amount of $14,900 to be taken from the courthouse contractual for 2 of the 4 breathing apparatuses.
So motion on the floor is to approve the funding request from the Colton Fire Department in the amount of $14,900 to be taken from our courthouse contractual line. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I was hoping to see Justin today. All right, next item on the agenda is informational presentation from our pro officers.
Hello, gentlemen. Hello, everybody.
Always
First-
the performer.
I know, right? First off, thank you. We want to thank you guys for the support that you have given for this pro officer program for Randolph County. What a huge success this has been, continuing to be. Also for the state of West Virginia, it is a tremendous program, and your support is invaluable. Thank you guys very much. But we wanted to take the time to talk about a few things that we've done, things that are upcoming, that we have planned here for Randolph County Schools. Sergeant Pennington wanted me to tell you guys, sorry you couldn't make it. He had to take one of his kids to the doctor. So I'll mention a couple things for him. But one of the best things so far that's happened this year is this gentleman standing right here to my left. I mean, what a tremendous asset. I don't want to pump his head up too big, but I'm telling you guys, this guy is a great pick for this program. He's doing a great job at Elkins High School. He's been there 1 month already, and everybody loves him. I mean, he's doing just a great job. I mean, fantastic. And I don't want to speak too much for what he's done so far, so I'll let him talk here in just a minute. But I'm going to mention a few things that we've done already. So one of the other big things that we've done here in 2022-2023 school year is our active shooter classes. And we were able to conduct those in all 13 schools here in Randolph County. The Assistant Superintendent Randolph County Schools, Joseph Arbogast, was also a team member on putting that together and contributing to those classes. All the schools have done a tremendous job in the training. They've all had positive feedback. I don't think that there was one negative thing that we've gotten from that. Since we've conducted those trainings, we now go around and we conduct Code Red drills. And we've been in several schools for those so far. They've done a great job. We still got a few to get to just to have drills. The most important thing that we have is life. And we've always said that. So we want to make sure that the students and staff are safe to the best of our ability and to ensure that we will be there for them. And God forbid an event ever take place. We pray that it never does. One of the other things that we've had going on is hunter safety courses, put together with the West Virginia DNR assistance, one of those at Elkins Middle School so far this year, and that was back in the fall season. I think there was 20-some kids that participated in that class that did a great job. I think some Harmon kids come down for that as well. I've got another hunter safety course lined up at Tigers Valley next month. And right now I've got about 23 students coming to that class with about 7 more openings. I'm sure it'll fill up as well. So those are going really well. We participate in driver's ed classes, talk about the effects of alcohol and the laws of alcohol. And also I think Ethan and Danny just went to Mr. Parlock's class at the Elkins Randolph Technical Center yesterday. And conducted a class on traffic stops for kids that are wanting to go into the law enforcement realm. And as we all know, we need good applicants to go into law enforcement. So we're hoping that they take a step toward that. So we get involved with that. We also get involved with forensic science classes, criminal justice classes. We help teach some classes, social media issues, drug issues, just to try to be a positive influence, especially for the secondary schools. We try our very best to get into the grade schools because the younger that they are, that we can really connect with them, the better results we're going to have as they get older. And we want to build that relationship with them so that anybody wearing any size, shape, collar, badge, or any patch, we're not the enemy. We're there for them. So that's the biggest goal. We want to provide that. Upcoming events, we have basketball games scheduled again this year. The Randolph County Sheriff's Office versus Harmon, Tigers Valley Middle, and Elkins Middle. We're hoping this year we win at least one of those games.
Well, we don't play the high school kids again.
I don't know that we could keep up with the high school kids, but we do play the middle. We can't even keep up with the middle school kids.
I'm coaching this year.
Yeah.
Elementary kids have a game, but they have teams too.
Yes. Well, let me tell you, that's tougher it's easier said than done, brother. I'm telling you, those kids are in shape. Some of us are not, and we need to be in better shape, but they look forward to that. We throw out basketballs with the sheriff's office logo on it. And then we talk about safety and choices, and it's just a really great time. The kids are now looking forward to that this year. There's talk already of how they're going to kick our rear ends again, but that's fine. We'll let them talk all they want. We'll see what happens. But those are already scheduled. One of the other things we're trying to do, because we want all the kids to know the entire department, not just your pro officers. I know that we're in there regularly and they see our faces more, but one of the things we're trying to do is we're wanting to make up baseball cards with the whole department's picture on them, and on the back have some statistics on them, like hobbies, what our ranks are within the department, just some little things on the back. And then if the kids collect the whole department, then they get a big prize. But if they get those baseball cards, they get to know who the officers are. So if an officer working the road of an evening goes to a call at one of their houses, then they might know who that officer is, and they've gained a relationship with them. They know which one that is. So getting them to know the entire department is a goal of ours as well. So the baseball cards is an idea that we're really trying to pull through with now. We're looking into that already. We do many concerts. I take my guitar into the grade schools, and Ethan and Danny dance around while we play songs, and you wouldn't believe what this guy can do. He might be big, but man, he can do the worm like no other I've ever seen in my life. But they have a blast with that, and it's just part of relationship building again, and we love doing that. We got Hofnod coming up, and we got a lot of great organizations in the county that get involved with that, and what a huge event for the youth. So we're going to be involved in that as well. I think that's about all I had written down to talk about all the events, and I don't want to take all the time, Ethan.
Sure.
What do you have to say about it?
I'll keep it short and sweet. I want to thank the commission for your continued support of the Prevention Resource Officer program here in Randolph County. It's been a busy first month for me at Elkins High School. However, it's been extremely rewarding. I'm finally getting settled in. I've already built amazing relationships with the principals, Lambert, Currents, and Rayfield, as well as the teachers and the students. They've been extremely accepting, which has helped me transition into my new position, made it really easy for the transition. During my first month, I've had an opportunity to start getting into classrooms and teach a variety of classes, all toward combating juvenile delinquency and other issues that we see, such as social media issues or cyberbullying, vape issues, drug awareness. Those are the general topics that I've been focusing on in my first month. Additionally, we've got most of the things we can handle informally that are happening in the high school. However, there have been a handful of incidents where I've filed a juvenile petition with the prosecutor's office. Traditionally, that would be a call toward Elkins Police Department or a 911 response from a law enforcement officer. However, having me in the school, that's a resource that they've been able to tap into on campus at all times. So again, I appreciate the support, and I look forward to impacting the youth in our community positively in the future as well. I think that's about it, unless you all have any questions for us.
I'm thinking maybe we can get you in a football uniform, you can help Elkins next
I've
year.
already been, I've been recruited.
He's got a
They've
jersey.
asked if I have any eligibility.
Yeah, they need a line.
So,
He's got yours.
I'd be more than happy to, but.
I'll pick one of our smaller guys to send up with.
Yeah, he did. One of the last things I wanted to tell you, being the liaison in this region, we've got some good pro officers in this region. And I look over Tucker, Upshur, Barber. There's no one in Pendleton yet, and obviously you're in Randolph. And I don't want to sound like I'm favoring anybody or anything, but I got to tell you, in my humble opinion, Randolph County has two of the best pro officers in the state of West Virginia. I mean, these guys go above and beyond. They're incredible. They're great in and out of uniform, and just two great picks for our schools.
You didn't mention Danny.
I was talking about Danny and Ethan. They do a great job. They're just really, really great.
Well, thank you.
Well, we're happy with the work you guys are doing. Just keep up what you're doing, doing a good job.
They're working several felony cases and stuff that they're putting a lot of time into, but it's necessary, has to be done, and they've actually got some pretty intense cases that they're working on.
And thank you, Sheriff. I should have mentioned that. There are some cases out there relation to sex crimes, and I know we've worked several this year that have come to arrests being made, and they are essential. And we love the fact that the kids feel that they can talk to us. So we try to work those cases as much as we can to alleviate any stress for the road officers to be able to look at other things as well. And bringing people to justice for crimes that are committed that way, that's important, but also helping out the victims, getting the right contacts is important as well. So yeah, we've had several of those cases.
Now, have you done, this is a partnership, not just with, I mean, not only us, but with the Randolph County Board of Education. We both partnered together on this pro officer program. Have you done a presentation for them like you've done with us?
We have. We just recently did that. I think it was last week. Days are running together for me, but we gave a presentation there, and we also wanted to come, since you guys are a huge support with it as well, and let you know everything that's going on also. So yes, sir, we have.
I mean, we can't take all of, I mean, we provide, you know, a lot of the equipment, and but it's almost like a partner, it's an equal partnership kind of with us financially, with the commission and the Board of Education. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands it's not just us, it's the partnership that we have with them as well.
Yes, sir, we certainly did. We would never exclude them. I mean, this program couldn't be done without the superintendent, the assistant superintendent, Randolph County Board of Education, and the Randolph County Commissioners. So.
And the sheriff.
And the sheriff, yeah.
I ain't got anything else, you guys are funding it.
All right.
We appreciate the partnership that,
I mean, this was a project that you wanted, I mean, that you were really, that you were during your campaign about doing it.
Right.
So you were very effective in getting this, instrumental in getting this thing taken care of, so we appreciate that. And then Rocky's leadership in it. And we were lucky, you know, to have Ethan for Elkins High, because we've been wanting to do one in Elkins High too. So now we've got all the three, the main high schools taken care of, so. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good day.
Appreciate it.
All right, next is consider approval of sponsorship for Girls State. Do we have anybody here for Girls State? All right, so we have a letter funding request. You want to read this one?
I'll go ahead. Dear Randolph County Commissioners, Auxiliary Unit number 29 is sponsoring qualified high school juniors from the county high schools to attend the American Legion Rhododendron Girls State at the Davis and Elkins College campus. American Legion Rhododendron Girls State is a 1-week course in the operations of government and political process. Each citizen, as they are referred to, can choose one of 6 career paths. These paths are legislative, judicial, financial, law enforcement, journalism, and homeland security. The objective of the American Legion Rhododendron Girls State is to have the young women run the 51st state of the United States. They will elect all positions for state, county, and city government while learning the valuable life lessons and how government works. The cost of each citizen is $300. We would like to send as many young women from our county as possible. This year, we would like to send at least 12. In light of your recent support of the American Legion Mountaineer Boys State, we are asking for your assistance in helping build the future of America by sponsoring young women from the county. Your support will be greatly appreciated. All sponsorship money should be sent to the American Legion Auxiliary. It's signed Carol Erickson, American Legion Auxiliary Unit number 29. And we sponsored 3 for Boys State. I'd like to do that again.
You were instrumental in this process, getting it started with Boys State, so we now have the Girls State, and I think, you know, we did 3 for them, we should do 3 for the Girls State. So,
Okay.
you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the funding request for the Rhododendron Girls State in the amount of $900 to be taken from the courthouse contractual. This funds 3 participants.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the funding request for Rhododendron Girls State in the amount of $900 to be taken from courthouse contractual. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is consider approval of funding request from the Region 7 Multi-Hazard Mitigation Plan. We were approached by Shane Whitehair, who is the Executive Director of Region 7 Planning and Development Council. They're looking for $1,500 from our county commission to be used to match federal funding planning grant to complete a 5-year update on their hazard mitigation plan. All 7 counties that make up the Region 7 are being asked to contribute $1,500 towards this effort. So our portion, I think we should very much fund this project for them, because it used to be a state match, now state doesn't do it. So they're asking the counties, and this will help in other grants that we will need to write to have this plan. So have a motion to approve the $1,500.
I'll make a motion to approve the funding request from Region 7 in the amount of $1,500 to be taken from courthouse contractual.
Motion on the floor is to approve the funding request from Region 7 in the amount of $1,500 taken from courthouse contractual. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Consider approval of road name change.
Good afternoon. I am Sandy Bobby. I'm with the Randolph County OEM in the Mapping and Floodplains Office. Upon taking this job last week, there were several.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for that. There were several back notes left to take care of. One of them was an envelope from Mr. Jared Phillips referencing a request for a road name change on the family property in the Elmore area. I spoke with Deputy Director Damon to see what had been done with this, and he said that it had just been turned over to him when Mr. Phillips was there working on the pump system. The family members had signed last year in May and September the application. He was delayed in getting it submitted. So the road that they have is called Lamb Road. Lamb Road is a state road. So at the gate of his property, the paving ends for Lamb Road. But from the gate to the dead end on his property is still considered Lamb Road according to the 911 mapping. So what he wants to do is change from the gate to the dead end on the property to honor his grandfather to LC Lane. I spoke with Patricia Bennett at the DOH and right-of-ways to make sure that this Lamb Road did end at the gate and that from the gate to the dead end wasn't a state road. It is not. They said that the family could name it anything they wanted to name it. So I spoke then with Mr. Walton, who handles the signs for the mapping, and he provided a cost of $18.72 for a 24x6 sign, double face, that would read LC Lane. I also spoke with Director Fox, and she advised that as long as it was clear from the state, it would be all right to rename it as long as there were appropriate 2/3 signatures. And he would be responsible for the cost of the sign, the brackets, the post, and the installation, because the signage has already been done for the Colton area. When I spoke with Mr. Phillips again, he advised that he had a post and the brackets and they would install it, and that he would agree to pay the $18.72 for the sign. So what I'm here today to ask is that you approve the name change from the gate to the dead end to LC Lane
To honor his grandfather.
to honor his
I
grandfather.
think that's very nice.
What's
And
his name again?
Jared Phillips. He's with the, works with the town of Beverly. He was here with the pump truck request not too long ago.
Okay, okay.
And he did speak, and several members from the family did sign the application for approval, and the ones that didn't also agreed verbally.
Do you have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the road change, name from Lamb Road to Elmore, or in Elmore to LC Lane.
Motion on the floor is to approve the road change name of Lamb Road in Elmore to LC Lane. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you.
Next is consider approval of hire of a humane officer. This is what the sheriff is wanting so he can coast again. All right, we had interviews, last week or the week prior? Week prior. We had several applicants. We narrowed it down to, we interviewed 3, and then we narrowed it down to 1. I think we picked a very good person for this. Ron Gooden, I think he's here in the audience. So, have a motion to approve the hire of Ron Gooden for the Randolph County Humane Officer, I think we'll take care of this position.
I'll make a motion to approve the hire of Ron Gooden as the Randolph County Humane Officer. This is a full-time, fully benefited position with starting pay $15.14 per hour. He will begin work on February 27th, and a standard 90-day probationary period will apply.
I think he just retired, I saw 26 years at UPS.
6 years.
Congratulations on, huh?
You can't fire me after 26 years, they have to give me something. They can fire me as I'm going out the door, but
When's your last day there?
I'm actually finished. We'll speak about that because he's trying to give me the keys to the pickup truck as I'm walking in.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations on that, and, I look forward to working with you on this. I think this is a great asset for the county.
We got a lot of plans for it.
Yeah, so, I think you were definitely the right person for this position, so, you've already made the motion. So the motion on the floor is to approve the hire of Ron Gooden as the Randolph County Main Officer, full-time, fully benefited position. Starting pay of $15.14 per hour. He'll begin work on February 27th, and the standard 90-day probationary period will apply. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Is this gonna be in the paper? We'll have to get a picture, won't we? All right. Yep, so stay, we're gonna get a picture afterwards.
Got you a couple pictures.
Next item on the agenda is consider approval of hire for community corrections. Aaron.
As you know, one of my employees had resigned about a month or so ago. So we went through the process of doing interviews, and I've already presented this in front of the board last week. So I'm requesting the hire of Zachary Judy, who is present today with me, for the position of the DRC officer position that's vacant in my office, starting on February 21st at the wage of $14.42 an hour, which is $30,000 a year, with full benefits with a 90-day probationary period.
Well, you're very good in the way she spoke you up at the board meeting.
Yeah.
All right?
I tried to talk him out of it.
I'll blame you.
All right, have a motion.
So I'll make a motion to approve the hire of Zachary Judy as a full-time DRC officer at North Central Community Corrections. This is a fully benefited position with a starting pay of $14.42 per hour and standard 90-day probationary period.
Motion on the floor is to approve the hire of Zachary Judy as full-time DRC officer at North Central Community Corrections, fully benefited, pay of $14.42 an hour, standard 90-day probationary period will apply. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations.
Welcome.
Now get to work. Next item on the agenda is consider approval of lease agreement with Pitney Bowes. This is a agreement, just our yearly agreement with them, to be taken, we do, $418.02 per month, that we pay out for courthouse contractual. And this is actually the one for our stamping.
Yes, it's for the postage machine. They'll actually be replacing the current one with a new postage
So it's
machine.
updating it.
Yep.
All right, so do I have a motion to approve that?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the lease agreement with Pitney Bowes in the amount of $418.02 per month to be taken from the courthouse contractual.
And this is so the sheriff can mail out all his tax statements. So the motion on the floor is to approve the lease agreement with Pitney Bowes in the amount of $418.02 per month to be taken from courthouse contractual. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Peggy, CED grant.
Okay, this is the second time we have run the requests for bids for this, and we still have not received any bids. So at this point, I will contact the DEP and see what they want me to do. I would say they probably just want me to beg somebody to come do it at this point. That's probably what I'll do. And the next item, the RA grant bid opening, it's for next month. I inadvertently
We'll
had it
table
put on
that.
here. Yeah.
Okay.
So motion to table, letter N.
I'll make a motion to table letter until next month.
So the motion on the floor is to table letter N. All in favor?
Aye.
Consider approval to close all estates
Thanks,
pursuant to House Bill 2746. Brenda.
Yes. This is, as you remember, we did this last year. We went through old estates that have had no progress on them. And after 3 years, if they've had no progress, the county commission is authorized to close them. So notices have been sent to the personal representatives, to the heirs, to the creditors of the estates. We also did a legal ad in the paper, and we did receive back a few that need to remain open for certain reasons. But this is a list of all of them that are able to be closed if you approve them. It's just cleaning up the old estates that just sit there and linger forever and never get closed. This
Yeah,
is
but-
a way to close them up.
Do you have a number?
I didn't
You're fine.
count up the number of them, no.
Just to this percent, that's a lot.
Yes.
Alright, so do I have a motion to approve the closure of the old estates as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the closure of old estates as presented.
Motion on the floor is to approve the closure of the old estates as presented by Brenda. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Consider approval of appointments to Randolph County Unsafe Buildings and Land Enforcement Agency. You want to speak to this?
Yeah, we've had two people have resigned, and we're gonna refill them positions, to continue on with the board. Ray Lamore III and, J.W. Jones are the ones that we're wanting to take over in them positions.
Alright, so do you have a motion to approve those appointments?
I'll make a motion to approve the appointments of Ray Lamore III and J.W. Jones to the Randolph County Unsafe Buildings and Lands Enforcement Agency to fill the unexpired member-at-large terms. These appointments will begin immediately and end August 31st of 2023.
So motion on the floor is to approve the appointments of Ray Lamore III, J.W. Jones to the Randolph County Unsafe Buildings and Land Enforcement Agency to fill the unexpired terms of members at large. These appointments will begin immediately and end on August 31st of 2023. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright,
One thing before you finish that, when they fill in positions, will they be taking their respective titles? Because we were supposed to, do some voting in January, we didn't that time.
We'll have to do the vote, I guess.
we'll get them appointed to the board and then we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. So did we vote? Did we vote? Did we approve that? Cause you.
Yeah, we approved
that. So, sorry, I got
Sorry.
confused. Have you, final settlements in Indianola County. A motion to approve the 5 final settlements as presented.
I'll make a, motion to approve the 5 final settlements as submitted.
Motion on the floor is to approve the 5 final settlements as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Budget revisions.
There are 3.
Oh, there are.
2 are sheriffs at least.
All right, so we have 3 budget revisions. We have 1 in-house, 2 state. One is from the first one, the in-house budget revision is from the sheriff's, to adjust Fund 076 expense lines. The amount of $675. Do I have a motion to approve the in-house budget revision for the sheriff?
Is that in-house or state?
It's in-house.
All right, I'll make a motion to improve the in-house budget revision for the sheriff's department.
The amount of $675. So the motion on the floor is to improve the in-house budget revision for the sheriff of $675. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have 2 state budget revisions. Revenue replacement account correction.
Yes, that was for the ARP money for the pool where we had moved it in. It just went to the wrong line, so it's moving it to the correct line.
So we found it.
We found it.
Thank
Yep.
you. All right, so motion on the floor is this is a revenue replacement line. It was in the contingency line. It's being moved to the community development line. It's $500,000. So state budget revision, roll call vote. Commissioner Kiesling, aye. Commissioner Seiler.
Aye.
State budget passes. All right, next state budget revision is for $12,000. It's for the LE auto maintenance line. This is for law enforcement auto maintenance line. Do you have anything to speak on it?
We just had a cruiser that we lost an engine in, actually 2 where we had to have some pretty major work on, and it just depleted us to the point where I just don't have enough.
We're getting a lot more miles on our vehicles.
I got more deputies than
You
I've
got more
ever had.
deputies, you got 24 coverage,
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
so this is something that we'll just need to look at on our next budget cycle. We just didn't budget enough this last time.
Yes, sir, it's
All
kind
right.
of on me. I tried to anticipate it, and you just can't anticipate an engine failure.
All right, so, we're taking $12,000 from our courthouse contractual line and moving it to the law enforcement auto maintenance line to help him get through the remainder of this, budget cycle. State budget revision, Commissioner Kiesling, aye. Commissioner Seiler.
Aye.
Aye. Division of property and readiness assessments. 17 readiness assessments. So do I have a motion to approve the 17 readiness assessments as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the 17 erroneous assessments as submitted.
Motion on the floor is to approve the 17 erroneous assessments as presented by our assessor. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any division of properties? None? Just- All right, so distressed properties?
Nope.
No distressed properties. Fire fee adjustments?
There are 60.
Do you have a motion to approve the 60 fire fee adjustments as submitted?
I'll make a motion to approve the 60 fire fee adjustments as presented, or submitted.
Motion on the floor is to approve the 60 fire fee adjustments as submitted. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And payment of the bills.